Hello, this is Jenny Clark, and I've been working with Allegheny's Finance and Accounting Group to upgrade Allegheny's reporting systems so the company's in a position to compete for larger and more complex contracts. Thank you for making this meeting a priority and joining us for this required timesheet training session. I'd like to start out by covering some of the reasons that timesheets are such an important tool for Allegheny Science and Technology. First of all, because the company works on federal contracts, we must comply with the rules of the Defense Contract Audit Agency, that's DCAA. To be DCAA compliant, timesheets must be completed daily, there has to be an audit trail of changes, the timesheet needs to be signed by the employee at the end of the timesheet period, and the timesheet has to be approved by the supervisor. The company has a requirement to prove that employees follow these rules by running floor checks to prove that the employees fill out their time accurately. If there are not strong controls over recording and reporting time, the company could face penalties for mischarging, the authority to electronically bill federal customers could be revoked, the ability to compete for future contracts could be reduced, and in the extreme, timesheet fraud could occur, and they could be subject to criminal and civil penalties. There are other reasons for keeping up with your time. It's more than just how you get paid. We use the information from timesheets for billing against federal contracts and subcontracts. Those billings are certified by a corporate officer. Probably the most important reason for completing your time on time and following these rules is the program manager needs to know how these hours are being spent in order to report to their customer. And the program manager needs to know how the project's going and hours charged are a measure of that progress. As far as timing, the timesheet cycle is the same as it always been. At Allegheny, timesheets are completed daily. The system will run an automated floor check that checks that employees have recorded hours for the previous workday. Employees sign timesheets by the close of business on Friday. Supervisors approve the time by 10 a.m. EST on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick demo and show you how it works. You will have received an email with your login ID and the link to the Deltek time system. You'll also end up having your login ID, your password, which is going to default initially to your date of birth. This can be formatted as year, 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 month, month, day, day. The domain is going to be the same as the website domain, Allegheny ST. So let's go ahead and get started. In the login ID field, I'm going to type in the ID, the password, year, 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 month, month, day, day. The domain, and it'll remember this after you've done it, after I've typed that in, I'm going to hit Login. Better luck the second time. So I'm going to type in my new password. The only requirement we placed on that is it has to be a minimum of 6 characters. So click in there. Hit OK, and your password is reset. So the next thing it opens up is your timesheet. If there's a charge number loaded in there, that's because we set up your favorites for things that you normally charge to. So let me go ahead and just enter some time in here. You just go over to this field underneath the column and put your hours for the day in. I want to point out that here is a little comment icon. It's completely optional, but if you do want to add comments to your timesheet, you click on that, it opens a little comment box, and you can just put something in. And hit OK. So I'm going to go ahead and save the timesheet. So that's up here at the top with this icon. So fill out your time every day at the end of the day, and as you do it, before you exit, it's going to ask if you want to save, so just save it. The other thing I want to point out is we're entering time in tenths of hours. We were previously using quarter hours, so when you have situations like 1.25 or 1.75, you're going to have to change that to be tenths of hours, 1.2 or 1.3, 1.7, 1.8, in order to get that in. Okay, let's say you need to add a new charge number. To do that, you go to the magnifying glass and click on it. That opens the charge lookup. Under the charge lookup, the best way to find the charge numbers you're authorized for is just over here, hit the execute box. It's only going to list what you're authorized for. So in this case, you can click in the box to the left of the ones you want to add, and click down at the bottom and hit Add to Timesheet. So it's put those two charge numbers on my timesheet. So now what I want to do is go over here, and I'm going to put a couple hours. I did the wrong one. Let me go do this again. Under IT labor, I'm going to hit 2, and I'm going to say that the rest of my day was spent here on G&A labor, and I'm going to hit save. When I hit save, it pops up an error message. It's not going to let me save it without correcting this error. The error message is, the following charges are after the account end date of September 30th, 2013. And it tells me it's line 4, which is services IT labor, and the date is October the 2nd, which is Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close. And it's not going to let me save it, so I'm going to make 8 hours on Wednesday. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to change Monday to split at 6 and 2. And I'm just showing you to show you what the errors are. These wouldn't happen in real life because I normally wouldn't be going back and doing it that way. But now I'm going to hit save. Now what is popping up is called a revision audit. Anytime you're changing hours from an earlier day's saved timesheet, it's going to pop up a revision. It's going to show us the audit trail of what we changed and why. And now I have to put an explanation in. And I'm just going to put in forgot to charge Monday's time to services. Going to hit OK. And OK again, so I can save the timesheet now. By the way, as I'm creating this, today is Thursday, and now I'm deciding, well, I want to enter Thursday and Friday time. And you know, I'm just going to fill out the rest of my timesheet for the week because it is Thursday. Well, let me go under here, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm taking Thursday off, so I'm going to charge that to comprehensive leave. But Friday, I'm going to be working on G&A labor because I know I'm coming in. I'm going to do something. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 8 hours here. Let me go ahead and hit save. Going to get another error message. It's saying you cannot charge time worked into the future. What that means is I can charge vacation or some other type of leave on tomorrow, but I can't charge hours worked tomorrow because that would be forecasting my time. And under DCA rules, you're not supposed to forecast time worked. So I'm going to hit close, and instead of charging Friday to holiday to comprehensive leave, I'm going to go back and I'm just going to take Friday off. So I'll hit save, and this time, since vacation or comprehensive leave is a future charge allowed, because it is leave, I can do that. It's letting me, so I'm going to hit OK. So now that I've got all that worked out, it's the end of the week, and since I just decided I'm taking off tomorrow, I can sign my timesheet. But before I do that, I want to show you something about leave. Up here at the top is a link for the leave, and it's showing me my balance. what was accrued and what was taken. And even though it's going to say January for a lot of people as the leave taken, that's just the date we initialized it. We really put in the leave balances of your last check and what you've accrued since and so forth. So this is your rolling forward balance from here on out. And as we close the year, it'll start over and all that good stuff. So I'm going to hit close. I'm going to go ahead and I've already saved my timesheet. Never hurts to save it again. But now it's time to save it, to sign it. So I'm going to go down to the bottom left, and I'm click that box right next to signature. It's going to pop up my signature block. By signing this timesheet, you are certifying the hours were incurred on the charge and day specified in accordance with Allegheny Science and Technology policies and procedures, which, by the way, are also DCA compliant. So type in your password, hit OK, and you're done. Okay, so I just got one more thing to show people. If you're not a supervisor, you may not need to know about all of this. And I should point out that our rule as an employee, we want you to get this done on Friday by the close of business. Have your timesheet filled out and signed so that on Monday by 10 a.m. your supervisor would have been able to approve it. So as a supervisor, what you do is go up here to this search button. Click on it. It opens up a timesheet search dialog box. There's a field here called function. For most people, it's going to default to primary supervisor, but if not, check it. Then you'll click on the name of the group, and over here to the right, hit execute. On the right-hand side, missing means somebody hasn't even started their timesheet. Open means they've opened it up. It may or may not have hours on it. It's not signed yet. But they've taken some kind of action on it. Signed means the employees actually sign it. You as a supervisor can only approve it once the employee signed it. So I've decided I'm just going to take care of that signed one. Oh, and by the way, you can check and uncheck these boxes if you want to, just to get a different list. So I'm going to click in the box here and choose Amanda's timesheet. I'm going to take a look at it, say, yeah, okay, I know what that was, I got that. And it looks right to me, so I'm going to go ahead and over here to the bottom right, there's a box for an approval box. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to enter my password. And hit OK. That's the approval process. So again, employees sign by close of business on Friday, and the approvers need to be approving them and having them ready to process by Monday at 10 Eastern. So that is what I need to show you. I think we've talked about the timelines, we've talked about DCA compliance, we've talked about why this is important, not just for following the rules, but making sure your program managers have the information they need to do the best job possible. So thank you for your time. If there are any questions, they could be technical questions, they could be I don't have a charge number, they could be I can't remember my password, I've locked myself out. You're going to want to call Finance and Accounting and talk to Amanda. You can send her an email. So that's what we needed to cover. Thank you for your time.